Okay, my name is Nick Dutch and welcome to Halloween. It is traditional on this channel that once a year at around the Samhain Halloween time of year, I tend to do a little experiment, and I show you this experiment in the form of the YouTube video. Usually it is about the attempt to experience or communicate with something which is an apparent entity of one type or another. And we've done lots of them over the years. We've even had a look at the character of Santa Claus, I think it was, in one of the ones we did. So something which is fictional, something which is historical, all these things can be potentially treated as being a spirit. One of the things which is important about this time of year is in the northern tradition, this rune, which is called Hegal in some interpretations, they call it Hegalaz in this particular rune set, which looks a bit like a letter H with a diagonalized crossbar, okay, is the subject of today's and this particular season's work, because this is the rune for the 2-week period surrounding the Halloween festival. If you read the books on northern timekeeping, northern astrology, you will see that the Hegal rune is about this time of the year. So it has some kind of symbolic meaning, but traditionally the Hegal is defined a bit like the lightning-struck tower of the tarot. It talks about sudden change. Another way of drawing the Hegal rune is in the form of a 6-rayed star made of 3 sticks interlocking, looking a bit like the asterisk on your keyboard. Okay? The ASCII character number 42. Right, the thing which symbolizes everything. But northern tradition thinking sees the Hegal rune a bit like a hailstone coming to destroy crops. You know, you get a new beginning, but only as a result of a lot of destruction on the way. And I think that it goes well with the symbolic pagan meaning of the season to think about the Hegal rune in its 6-rayed star format. Some people suggest it's a shamanic symbol, talking about traveling to the upper world, the lower worlds, and any other spiritual world which is around us. And also just the general sense of three-dimensionality and solidity coming from the star form of the Hegal rune does suggest something of physical presence and three-dimensionality. Whether this is perceived spiritually or in another way, we don't know. The experiment is to investigate the Hegal rune using different techniques. The first one is just going to be purely meditative, and I'm just going to literally go into meditation, and I'm just going to try and see, as I try and sum up the image of this thing in my mind's eye, anything which occurs on the mindfulness level, which could be little tremors of thoughts and ideas popping up from the subconscious mind, and also if there's anything more of an anomalous experience, such as a very sudden visualization which comes and goes, then I will report that too. So the thing to do is do the meditation on the rune and just see what happens. The other means of investigating will be using other tools, but let's first just stick with the meditative method and see what happens. I'm going to do about probably 10 minutes worth of preparatory meditation, then I'm going to go into it, then I'll start the camera up again, and then I'll tell you what's happened, okay? Once we've done this, we will then do another method and see what happens then. And then, if I feel inspired, we'll go on to something else. But we're going to start off with purely the meditative method. So this involves preparatory exercises, then chanting, visualizing, and asking it to come. Okay? Quite simple, straightforward, transcendental state of mind, humble, tranquil, reverent, open, prayerful, and meditative, with hemispheric synchronization, focusing on the sensation of receiving rather than transmitting, and attempting to saturate my mind with everything to do with the Hegal rune. If something unexpected turns up, then I'll let you know. So this is the first part of our seance. Okay, right, that proved to be quite an interesting exercise. I'm not sure if I did get something unexpected or not. There was definitely the feelings traditionally associated with the runic energy there, but on the other hand I was meditating on it, so therefore maybe I was like giving some auto-suggestion or hypnotizing myself into thinking that, you know, now I'm feeling the energy of this thing, it must therefore be real, be there, and so on and so forth. And I was feeling everything that was associations I picked up based upon it. So initially that was like not very interesting, because I felt the sense of destruction, I felt the sense of kind of hope for the future as well. But to the most part, and this is something which is not something I've read in any books on runecraft before, is that there was a strong feeling of anticipation of something negative. It's like, you know, doom is impending. It's a question of when's it going to happen. We don't know. There's just this sensation of doom is impending. Something big is about to happen, but we don't know what it is. And maybe that's interesting for the time of the year, because obviously it's like late autumn, early winter, and therefore there's all the rest of the... We got another 5 months worth of winter in the UK to go through, you know. So I think that maybe that sense of doom is impending, you've got to get ready, you've got to do something, would make an awful lot of sense for the time of the year. Did I really get anything that was totally unusual about it? Slight reference to both beech and yew wood. I'm not quite sure what that was connected to, but it seems to be part of the whole thing somehow. I don't know why. I haven't actually read the mysteries of the right woods to go with the right trees with the right runes and so on and so forth for a long time. So I don't think it's just memory. But that popped into my head. So either way, I'll leave that there and leave it with you. Now, the next experiment will be more scrying orientated, because I want to see whether this thing has or seems to have a visual appearance. Does it look like a person or an animal, or does it look like a stone or a mineral? I don't know. So I'm going to get out the crystal ball and I'm going to give that a go, and we'll see what happens. Now, I did a crystal ball seance last Halloween that was in fact a bit emotional and a bit intense, because sometimes, you know, you see things in the crystal and it kind of like spooks the living crap out of you. Obviously this is based upon persistence of vision hallucination, so we could easily say that the result is something coming from the depths of the mind, but on the other hand maybe it won't be. We don't know. Now, taking into account the associations with the hailstone, with the coming of winter and the rest of that, will I see something which resonates with that, or would it be something completely different? Okay, I want to see whether this symbol has a genie in Eastern language, okay, name your genius, name your spirit, name your demon, name your whatever, associated with it, and does it have some variety of visible appearance. Let's go. And as you can see from my setup today, I'll use the quartz crystal ball, and I kept it in its pouch. That gives it a black background, thus making it more of a dark mirror. Just drew the runic symbol in its two forms there, as you can see, and had that resting in its thing, and a little bit of candlelight. Okay, so I was actually doing most of the scrying with the stone higher up, but I also brought it down further so I could then like create a psychological reverence to the symbols themselves being higher above the crystal ball. The kind of experience I've had was initially very bland. Initially not much was happening. I felt the change of state of consciousness as I was chanting, and then there was sensation equivalent to that of what you'd expect if there was rain coming or there was a storm coming, something along those lines. It felt like there was an anticipation of rain. But that then passed. I mean, I wasn't seeing as much actually in the crystal itself, but the meditative state was giving me some variety of visual experience. And one of the things I saw, remember I was trying to ascertain whether the Hagel rune actually has like a spirit associated with it which has an actual appearance, was a large white dragon flying through the sky, massive, and it was like I was riding on its back. Alright, it was a massive, scaly, white dragon, skin like ivory, piercing singular, blue eyes either side, sapphire blue eyes, and it seemed peaceful, but large, and with power and strength, and people are afraid of it. But it just seems like it's doing its job. But I think that a useful, interesting visual metaphor for the Hagel rune could in fact be a large, white, scaly dragon. Alright, why that would be, we don't know. But that's what I saw, and therefore that's what I repeat back to you. Remember, this is the season of Halloween. These are symbols in the runic culture of Halloween, as well as being used in divination and letter writing, and writing of notes and all that kind of stuff. It's an alphabet which people have symbolically used for meditation, prayer, ritual, and all kinds of other stuff. Okay, but it's still an alphabet, and this is the letter H in that alphabet. All right, but it's. I mean, the meditation itself was very much traditional Hegel. This one is not traditional Hegel, because I wouldn't expect to see imagery which I would associate with further south in Europe as opposed to Scandinavia, or indeed like Chinese type imagery with something that's, culturally speaking, only a Northern European thing. So whatever this is, it's not specifically just that. Okay, there's something else going on here, and there appears to be an animal associated with it. Okay, now this is one thing we haven't tried before. Now, we got out the talking board a fair few times, haven't we, over the years? You can look back on my channel, just go back to the go back to search facility. Whoops, I'm getting older. And have a look and do some searches for Ouija or Ouija board, and there will be quite a few there. Now, we've done this for spirits of the Lesser Key of Solomon, we've done it for angels, we've done it for ghosts, we've done it for apparent things that were connecting. We had this amazing experience a certain number of years ago with this young girl who had some kind of connection with strawberries, and that came out really, really, really strong. And that was fascinating. So do have a look on my channel and search around for anything associated with Ouija or Ouija board, and you'll find lots of stuff to keep you up all night during the Halloween season. So today, as I've been telling you, we're having a look at the Hegel rune and seeing whether, I mean, this is like rather innovative, this is like rather odd. We don't normally treat runic letters as if they were conscious entities. But give me a minute and I will just do a bit of tuning in and we'll see what we can sort out. Back in a sec. Okay, I've done my bit of chilling out and getting some perspective there, and peace. Done a little bit of chakra stuff. Just chilling out a bit. Okay. Spirit of the Hegel rune, I ask you to communicate with me, communicate in words or sentences or ideas. Bring your power to this board and show me something of your nature so that we can understand you better. It's like I can feel that the planchette wants to move, but it's trying to find a way of explaining itself. It's weird. H. E. A. V. Y. Heavy. I L D E A D Heavy, ill, dead. Are those meanings which go alongside the rune Hegal? Yes. Would you say the energy of yourself as a rune is very oppressive? Yes. Despite its negative connotations, can this rune be used for health, improvement and healing? M A B Y. Do you mean maybe? Are you saying that to the most part this is a rune of destruction rather than rebirth and healing? Yes. Are there dangers associated with using it? Are there dangers associated with using the Hegal rune? Are there dangers in using the Hegal rune? Come on, can you give me an answer please? Are there any dangers in using the Hegal rune? Yes. T Sorry. What letter comes after T? Come on. R Try Are you just saying I should like muck about and find out? Yes. Is there any way of keeping myself specifically safe from any dangers? Is there any way of keeping myself safe from any dangers? Please answer the question for me. Come on. Is there any way of keeping yourself safe from any dangers? No. Yeah. Well, that was a bit curt. I mean, it's been quite an enigmatic séance, really. I mean, there's a sense of, the negative aspects of the runic letter, and death and illness and that sort of thing coming out. And there was even a reference there to say there could be some risk there, but it's almost like there was a more articulate message that the board wanted to come out with, but it really struggled to do it because the planchette spent a lot of its time hovering about, as if there was no hard and fast answers, or maybe the consciousness of whatever it is trying to keep me from the truth of what is actually right and wrong with the Hagar rune. Alright, so this has proven to not be a very effective way of getting into deep depth with the Hagar rune. Could it be used for banishing, invocation? Could it be used as a seal? Could it be used protectively? It's not really giving me that kind of information. But the meditative method does seem to be a little bit easier and better for getting some variety of information about these things, as well as the crystal ball stroke dark mirror. Alright, so when we're looking at runes, I don't think we want to be using the board. There's a possibility there could be another consciousness trying to affect my perceptions of what the Hagar rune was about. There's questions about that, not answers. But I would say that if you're looking into runic letters, the board is out of the question. When looking at the spirits of the Lesser Key of Solomon, then the board is brilliant for that, because of the way in which we anthropologically understand what demon spirits could be about. I think that we relate intellectually very differently and emotionally very differently to the symbols of the runes, therefore they have a different feature and function, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is Halloween. This is what we do here in Nick Dutch's place. And I hope you enjoyed it. Now, let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section, whether it's down there or up there, depending upon which orientation of the video I choose to do in the end, no matter what. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, favorite, and share, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Bye for now.